Hey team, welcome to training camp. My name's Ariana. A lot of you call me Coach Ari. That's totally cool. And welcome to your mobility workout for the day. We have worked so hard this week that I want to reward you with some downtime. So your bonus for the week is going to be a stretching routine. Okay, this workout is called your hips and hammies mobility routine. So we're just going to take it down to the ground. We're going to do 6 exercises and we're going to hold those stretches for 30 seconds to 1 minute. I'll walk you through it. Very simple, not a yoga flow, simple stretches. You're gonna recognize some of these poses. Other than that, just feel free to follow along and go at your own pace. Okay, so I'm gonna put 1 minute on the clock. We're gonna start with a standing toe reach, which will just touch our toes and we'll work on gaining some flexibility. Are you ready? I'm gonna set that clock. 1 minute on the clock in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna just come down towards our toes, and we're gonna come down to the ground. Flex your feet, push your heels down into the ground with a flat back. Option is you're right here, okay, bent knees, and as you come up, you come to your thighs, right here. So you do not have to be touching the floor for this. Great job, halfway through already. Just start to get the body flowing, blood pumping. You've worked so hard for this week. Reward yourself with this stretching routine anytime you feel like you need it. Could be at the end of every day. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and keep working, 15 more seconds. After this, we're going to get into a wide stance, okay? Getting ready for our next hamstring stretch. Wide stance right here in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna change it up. Okay, so we're going right into another hamstring stretch to the right. And since we're not too warm yet, I'm gonna have you alternate sides to the left. Just hold for 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Beautiful. That's it. Remember, here you can also bend those knees. If you're not reaching all the way to your toes, that's perfectly fine. But we're not very warm yet. So avoid staying in that position for the whole 1 minute. If you're doing this after your workout, then you can definitely stay. 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on another. We've got 20 seconds left. This feels so good. Feels good to reward yourself. That's it, 10 more seconds. Remember, bend your knees as much as you need to. Really hinging at the waist here. Okay, go ahead and rest. We're going right into our next exercise. So since we've been here, we're just gonna turn it into a runner's lunge. Find your balance. Find your balance. Okay, we're here. You can be on the ground and turn to the other side. If you're not warm up yet, keep changing sides. Otherwise, I will give you that halfway mark and you can hold that lunge on one side for 30 seconds. Switch sides. We're 30 seconds in. Feel free to take this at your own pace. You can move with it. Stand up tall, push this hip forward. Good. Keep moving. Keep breathing. This can be a nice cool down for you at the end of the day. Think of all the great things that you've done for yourself for today. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going down to the floor and we're gonna do a T-spine rotation. Remember, we're gonna come back to all of these exercises. So let's go right here on the floor. We're gonna bring those hands out wide, bring one knee up, and as much as you can, you're gonna bring it to one side. It can float. You may want a yoga block underneath you or a pillow. You can bring that foot all the way to the ground. For this one, we're gonna hold it, look to your right, and try to push your right shoulder back into the ground. Great job. Let's switch sides. One foot up, 90 degrees. Turn as much as you can. Perfect. That's it. You got 10 seconds left or so. Maybe a couple more. If this feels great, you can feel free to extend that foot. Come back up. Okay, We're going right into our 90 to 90 stretch. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring one foot up, okay? And one foot back, like a hurdler stretch. But instead of having this leg extended, which we will do in pigeon, you're gonna bring this foot 90 degrees from the knee. So I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. This one takes a second to get into and set up. And then I'm bringing this knee straight out 90 degrees perpendicular to my body. Okay, so let's get into it right here. I want you to hold this for 10 seconds. Squeeze your glute. And you're gonna push your knee down to the ground. Okay, we're gonna get right into this. You're going to push your knee down towards the ground and sit up nice and tall. Push this knee down for 10 seconds at a time, and then we'll release it. We wanna still like warm up the hips here. 10 seconds on the clock. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that knee down into the ground and release it. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing with the back foot. Okay, so you're pushing this back foot into the ground. I know that you don't feel like you're doing very much right here, but trust me, you are working on getting those hips a little more stable, a little more mobile, a little more active. Okay, release it, take a break, couple seconds, breathe. This is not super fun, I realize that. Okay, squeeze that back foot down into the ground. That's it. You wanna get a little more range, then you can turn towards your right hip. Okay, slide that hip back. 10, 9, 8. If you've already been there for 10, relax it. Okay, relax it. You're basically firing up that back glute. All right, then we'll go back to the front one. 10 more seconds. Squeeze the back glute, push the back foot into the ground. This is firing up your hip complex. That's it. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more at the top here. We're gonna push this hip down into the ground, push this knee and this foot. Okay, this one's gonna feel harder. Feel free to pinch your hands outside of your foot. Perfect. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, we're gonna change up those feet. So again, 90, 90. Right here, you're gonna bring this foot forward and we're getting right into it. Okay, this foot, if it's back, make sure it's a straight 90 degrees. This side may feel tighter. Feel free to elevate yourself with a pillow underneath you and we go. Okay, we've got a little more than 1 minute on the clock here. That's okay, just keep following along. Okay, first one, we're squeezing the right hip, this front foot down into the ground. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 10 seconds on the clock. Really activate it, activate it. This is gonna be mind-muscle connection. It's gonna feel really weird. In 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, back foot. Okay, we're gonna get into that hip. This hip might feel a little bit tight, especially right in here throughout that psoas and your hip flexor. Okay, so squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the back foot and the back glute, 10 seconds at a time. That's it. Fire it up. We do a lot of hard work throughout the week and our muscles, our joints, some of those internal stabilizers, they're not firing, they're not working because your brain isn't telling them to work. Relax. Okay, let's go back to the front. This is one of the most helpful stretches and activations that you can do to gain strength and mobility in your body. Okay, squeezing the right hip, pushing the right foot down into the ground. I'm pushing everything down, pushing my right knee, my right foot, my right hip. I've got 10 seconds. That's it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more, backside. Remember, you can turn it here. You can face forward if you want to, get a little more leverage. And we've got 10 seconds on the clock. Push that back heel down. That's it. Great job. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath here. And relax. Okay, so we're gonna reward ourselves. First, we're gonna do some windshield wiper. So I want you to bring your feet out here and you're gonna do some windshield wipers by bringing your knees up and over. Okay, next, keep your hands on the ground. That's it. Remember, you can bring those feet closer to you. You can bring them further away. Last stretch is going to be pigeon. Okay, let's go right into pigeon. We have 1 minute on the clock. You're going to bring one foot forward. If you need it, grab a yoga block. Sometimes I need to prop this underneath my hip. Next, I'm going to bring my foot behind me, and my foot does not go 90 degrees with my body. That is okay. Okay, comes back here. This is a don't take yourself too seriously stretch, okay? This is not like people who've been doing yoga forever. I am not a certified yoga teacher. I am trained to give you stretching and mobility, but it's on my bucket list for sure. Keep holding. Definitely, definitely. Good job. Keep breathing. Just because you're not good at something doesn't mean you shouldn't practice it. So practicing stretching is just one of those things that's going to get us more mobile. Now this side, for me, I know is a lot harder. Switch that side. Good job. Perfect. Okay, bring that foot behind you, untuck those toes. You can tent your hands if it feels good for you. Come down onto the forearms, relax your head. If you have a block, you can put it underneath your forehead to rest. And as long as you're feeling pretty warm, you can stay here for the full minute. If not, I encourage you to get up out of this pose and release it a little bit. Great job. Beautiful work. Beautiful breathing. Relax yourself. Exhale all of that negative energy from the week. Let it go. Awesome. Okay, let's come back up out of that pigeon pose. We're gonna get back into it. One more round of these stretches. You should feel really limber now, so we're gonna go back to that standing toe reach. Okay, we've got 1 minute on the clock, and we take off. Right here, down to the ground, forward fold. If there are other stretches that you feel like doing during this routine, go for it. All I care about is that you show up every single day to move your body in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a walk, even if it's stretching in bed. I know some of you have mobility homework, maybe coming off an injury or doing preventative. When it comes to mobility and stretching, oh my gosh, we're all guilty of this. Just not doing the homework, right? Not doing the homework. Great work. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. 10 seconds left. Come down and up. Awesome. Okay, relax. We're going right into that split stance right here. We're tipping at the waist, and you should feel real good. So feel free to hold right here to the right for 30 seconds. Use your breath. If it feels good for you, switch to the other side or continue to hold. Anytime we're stretching these hamstrings or any stretch, we want to make sure that we don't go past the point of pain. Okay, so if you feel like that deep, deep stretch, I encourage you to go one level behind that, okay? So right before that point where you feel like, oh wow, this is a little painful, feel free to switch to the other side if you haven't done so already. And we are gonna rest. Okay, come right back up. Now we're gonna hold that runner's lunge, but we're gonna go down to the ground since we're pretty warm now, okay? And we are really gonna fire up this left hip. So you are pushing your toes down into the ground, bring one hand up, and push your left knee into the ground. That's it. Right here. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, relax. Good. Okay, we go again. Keep breathing. 10 seconds on the clock. You're really pushing that knee down into the ground. You're firing up that quad, that hip flexor, that psoas right here runs all the way through your belly button into your spine. Relax. Great work. Okay, switch sides. Perfect. Knee is dropping right over my ankle. Just make sure right here. If you notice that you can't see your toes anymore, that means your knee has gone too far. That means you need to step that foot out a little bit and create a little more space between your heel and your back quad. Okay, if you're not already, bring that hand up and fire up that quad. Push your back toes into the ground. Ooh, this one is spicy. This is hard. It's okay. It's supposed to be hard. Good things come to those who challenge themselves. Relax. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Okay, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's it. Okay, if this bothers your foot at all, just squeeze the glute a little bit more. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, we're going down to the ground for that T-spine rotation. So, bring those arms out to the T. Right here, set yourself up. One knee over. And bring it to the side. If this hurts your hip, lower your foot a little bit so that your knee is not quite at 90, but it's out here. We are already halfway through. Feel free to stay in this stretch if it feels good for you. Let's switch to the other side. Remember, if you can, look towards your opposite hand. Smile. Think of all the great people in your life. All the amazing memories that you're going to make in the future. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, we're going back to that 90-90, your pigeon, and you're done. So let's come right back up here. Knee and ankle, 90 degrees. Knee, ankle, 90 degrees. Okay, right here. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Okay. And then pull the hips out from underneath you. So pull out your sits bones. Yep, perfect. Okay, let's fire up that front foot for 10 seconds. On the clock, let's go. Okay, squeeze that front quad, glute, foot into the ground. That's it. And relax. Okay, back foot, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Back quad, back heel, back glute. You can be here, or you can turn towards that right hip. That's it, relax. Front foot, squeeze it down into the ground. Perfect. And relax, one more on the right. Good. And relax, change sides. 90-90. Set the feet up, knee to ankle, hip, knee, ankle. Perfect. Pull out your sits bones, 10 seconds. Right quad, strong. Flex that foot. Push your foot into the ground. I don't care who you are, what kind of athlete you are, amateur, fitness professional, if you are a professional athlete, if you consider yourself an amateur athlete, if you just consider yourself a human, everybody should be doing this. Relax. Sometimes, you know, I get carried away in talking. If you're not already, squeeze your back foot, your back heel, your back quad into the ground. Fire it up, come on. In 3, 2, 1, relax. One more set on the front and the back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's it. Great job. And the back. Perfect. That's it. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, we're gonna go right into pigeon on the other side. If you haven't already, grab yourself a pillow if you need it. Bring that back foot behind you. Here we go. Right here. Okay, move back if you need to. Create the space that you need. Come down if it feels good for you, onto your forearms. Move those shoulders if that feels good. Switch sides, one more side to do, and we will be done with this stretching routine. I encourage you to do this before bed, after your workouts. Also makes a great dynamic warm up as long as you're moving and you're not holding these poses for 1 minute. Dynamic means there's more than one thing going on at one time, so keep on moving if you decide to use this as a warm up. For this one, I would go back into plank or downward dog and keep moving from pigeon into down dog. But pigeon is one of those poses that's best to be warmed up for. Thank yourself for all of the hard work that you've done this week. Seriously impressed with you showing up, checking in. I love following all of you and your journeys. Thank you for sharing it with me. I appreciate your time and the fact that you showed up today to do something great for yourself, okay? Share this with someone else. Go tag us on Instagram, Training Camp Team, Camp Shred, and work hard this week, have fun, and I'll see you in the next workout.